I got your comments, good comments, and thought we'd go through these windows real quick. Try to do this down and dirty. So the first ones, here, let me grab your email. These first ones that you mentioned are the walk-in closet windows. And so we could do something that's more rectangular and vertical. Or we could just get rid of them. It's in the closet. Be fine without them. Or we could do something more linear, horizontal. So there's a horizontal look. And I get what you're saying about not dividing these. Now, these kind of windows would be called awning windows. And they're hinged at the top and they open on the bottom. So they tip out. You know, the bottoms of the windows open up this way. And they don't have to have the dividers in there. Let me know which version of that you like better. Here, we'll just keep it that way for now. I changed this out, but this is a bathroom window. That is this bathroom right here. So I did more linear, took the dividers out of it, and that would actually center better than that. Something more like that. But it's a bathroom window. Same thing, awning window, would open, bottom would open, tip out. Here, let's go around to this other one. Yeah, before we go there, I wanted to look at these. These are double hung windows, so the tops can slide down and the bottoms can slide up. Same with these and these. In your previous design, it looked like you had just a single hung where the tops slid down. And I'll show you what that looks like here. Boom. So that's with more of a square window up on the top. And the only operable part would be the top of the window. The top would slide down, the bottoms are fixed. And I noticed that he had that on a couple of his windows in the previous design. May want to take this and get rid of the center bar here and here, so you have, it'd be more square on top, but you'd have more linear going on there. And the horizontal elements that he had in his, I think, you know, these are the windows that you think you're referring to, getting rid of those middle dividers. But on his bigger windows, he's got these horizontal elements to break that up instead of going vertical. And then on these, pretty square, not quite, and then horizontal elements at the bottom. And it was on your other pictures that you sent me, not the model, that he had these with the broken windows on the top. Now you can get those in a casement. A casement has hinges on the side and opens out. But on these taller windows, sometimes that's a problem because you don't get the narrow casement or the narrow frames for the casements, and it takes a bigger frame when you hinge it on the sides to hold that glass and open it. So you could get rid of this completely, but you might have to go with a little wider window, and that would get rid of that bar going across there completely. Okay, so in my opinion, that's cleaner. They're a little bit more expensive window, and like I said, they might have to be a little bigger on the frames that frame the glass. But I think that's cleaner. I'm going to leave that. Let me know what you think on that. And I'm going to show you this without these center panes. So this is that game room, and there it is. Instead of 4 dividers, there's with three panes. The only thing that kind of messes up is this over here. it would shrink this. If we want these to kind of match, it would shrink this a little. Let me show you that real quick. So this is kind of from inside the room. I'm trying to get, I don't want to have this big fight going on with these different elevations. This is close. These, you know, we can spec out where that bar goes. I can't show that bar at different heights, but I would keep that bar, you know, to where this spring line continues on. And then as far as the size goes, you're looking at one of these panes over on this side. So it'd be very similar to that. And I think that works over there just fine. So I'm going to leave that too. Just to, this one, you could do the exact same thing. I think that looks better also. This is kind of odd, and this is all bathrooms going across here, bathrooms and closets. So what we're looking at here is this area right here. So this window is right over a tub. I don't think you want to make that bigger. Windows and showers, if they're up high, you have less chance of them leaking and causing problems than if they're a big window in front of you know, a shower. Here, you could take this and put it over here. I'll show you what that looks like. And we could put one in the closet. Let's just throw that in there. These are those windows you don't like. Oh, here, let me change that and use something similar to what we did, what I had over here in the master closet. We'll stick one there and we'll stick one here, and then we'll go out here and look at that. And these got to line up. This one doesn't. It's high because I changed that. Something like that. That helps that. If you want to leave those, I will. And I'd get rid of this one over here. You don't like those kind of windows anyway. I'll leave that. Let me know on that. This is that, we'll call it the west wing. This are all the, that's a bathroom, a closet, and a bathroom. In this case, that would be an awning. These would be casements that swing out. Get rid of this one. And you look at that floor plan, and that works fine there. Put a towel bar and all that over on that. Get some light coming through this one. It's not a big window, but it's right in front of the toilet. So these windows, this window is in the guest room. This is that linear horizontal window. It's too big to make it an awning. You could split it into two. Let's look at that. Instead of three, you could split that into two or go with a smaller one. And I'll show you what that looks like. I like that, and actually it gives me more sheer area to play with. What's it look like on the floor plan? It works well with that. So, and I think I would change this one to the same thing. So we just take this, should do it, yep. Let's look what that does. That works really well on that wall. How's it look in here? Looks great. Oh, look, you got plants growing on the floor there. This, we could go with something a little more narrow if you wanted to. That's just into that bathroom. What we're talking about there, another bathroom window. So that window is this bathroom window, and I'm just trying to get some light into this. I don't have any in here unless we went with a French door type glass door and then had that an opaque glass. Probably seen that. That would get some light into this. No light and ventilation. You can provide mechanical. You have to provide actually mechanical ventilation in a bath, so it's not critical. We could get rid of the window if you want, or do something more linear there. So we're talking about this little window right here. I'm going to leave it the way it is for right now. As we go around here, I think everything else is pretty good. I could make that a little narrower. That's also a bathroom window. That is this toilet window. Just nice to have one in a bathroom, but we don't. Again, we don't have to. This is going to have a mechanical vent. We could put a mechanical vent here and get rid of this window. It's just you got to, light. You need light, and you only have this to bring light into this whole area. Might want to do a skylight in here or something to kind of bring some light into this. This could be a glass door, but it's really not providing any light unless we've got a skylight in here. I think skylights would look good in this. I think this would be a great spot for a skylight. Make that a glass door, and like a French type, framed glass door. You could do some reed glass or something like that for privacy. That would look nice in this. And or put another skylight probably right above this. It would look pretty cool right in there. I'll show you what the bathroom looks like here real quick. Since I'm talking about it, we could get rid of that. That kind of works with what we're doing on the other windows. I'll get rid of that sill also. Here's that. This is just a quick mock-up of that. And we could do glass doors on these and glass door on that. Brings light into there. You could do that reed glass. That's kind of opaque. Here's the master bedroom. I don't know that we're going to do those cabinets and stuff, but those are the closets. And we'll come back out here real quick. I think we're good with all the rest of the windows. Let me look at your list again here. Let me pause this and catch up. The wine cabinet. To answer your question, yes, we can do that, but we'd be spending money like drunken sailors. And the reason being is I got to support this corner somehow. So there isn't any good way of doing that if that corner goes away and it's just glass. Glass won't support anything. So we'd have this pillar to support this, and we'd have this pillar to support this. And so we've got to come up with some creative way, because now instead of this being a cantilever, it's like a post with a beam and no post at all over here to hold it up. It's not going to fly unless we do something creative with the joists, like have some kind of a supporting beam that comes out through here and attaches to a beam that comes across here so that we can support this. And just to get the look that you're looking for, it'd be a cool look, and that's also typically not something you're just going to buy from a store. Somebody's got to put that together. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, we can do that. We can open that up, and really what you're doing is putting a shower door in there and a shower door in here. And you have to be careful how it's done, because it's basically a shower door. But without that post, we're spending a lot of money to get that look. I think, something like this would probably be fine. And personally, I don't think I'd do this at all, unless there was some type of a decorative thing over that. It's cool, but I don't know. Anyway, that's a subjective thing. Let me know what you want to do on this. That's cool, but to me it looks a little 7-Eleven-ish. That's just my personal take on it. Let's move on. Windows here and here. Um, let's look at the floor plan, second floor. So we are talking about windows that are here. It's a bathroom, so it really doesn't fly there. And then we've got a window here. We could put a window there. But you have this very deep relief here in these windows because these are big soffits that make up for this door. But then the soffit's kind of cool because it comes all the way around, or cabinets sit underneath those. And then this from inside is just looking like the wall continues at the same depth. But as soon as you put a window in here, you're going to see that there's this difference in depth here that I can't overcome without pushing that bar further into the room and taking up 1.5 feet or so of space. Now these are all at the wrong height. Let's try to give it a fair shake here. Get it close. And this is part of the other problem. When you come in here, that window is cutting way down into this. So to answer your question, we can put a window in here, but it's into a bathroom, which I don't think it needs. And then yeah, we can do this, but I'd have to move this wall out behind the bar, and so everything would move this much further into this room, which isn't the end of the world, but it does start pushing things. I'd have to move the door, and I just think it's a better use of space like this. It would be a little easier on the engineer because we'd have more space to work with there as far as shear walls. But the other thing that I'm trying to do by not having these here is I have this shear wall to work with, because this part of the wall right here stacks right above this wall. So I've got this shear base that goes all the way down through here. So you got this big area, and you've got this big shear wall up here that is actually on the same plane. It's this wall and this wall down below. So there's some strategery going on here to make all that work. This is actually cantilevered over a little bit. If you look down here, it creates this soffit, but it gives you that extra 4 inches or so to push this stuff back. So I don't think we can get windows in there, and I'm not sure that they would add to it. It's kind of cool. I know what you're after there, but I don't think it's going to fly. Let's catch up with your list. The walkway width, that's 5'4" right now. That's 5'4", so that's a nice walkway into this. It works well. Big doors going into it. Next question was the fireplace. Let's look at that real quick. So with this, we don't want anything on either side of this. We just want the wall going straight through, and this floating hearth going across there. I'll mock that up real quick. This is going to be sketchy, but I'll get it just to make sure we're on the same page here. Okay, so this is sketchy, but something like this is what you're after. Then you said you had some stone work around it. Is that a stone tile? Is that stone work? I don't have to show that for the construction documents. And that's a good point on the cabinetry and all that stuff. Just as long as the space works, uh, that's what you want. You can festoon that any way that you want. As long as I'm not carving up these areas with niches or something like that. I just need to know that for the documents. This isn't even, that's not a structural element. That's so I've got a way of doing that, especially with this double wall that we've got here. But um, let me know if I'm close on that, just for construction reasons. Okay, let me catch up here. I'm pausing this as I do this stuff, um, just so I'm not dragging this thing out. Pantry, wall, the bar, and the coffee area. So I just need to show where the appliances, the major appliances go, and this would be considered because it's in the cabinetry part of the appliances. So you want it over here, and get rid of this, probably have a standing cabinet for it, but get rid of all this, and you probably do glass shelves or something like that in that area. Is that correct? And then we're talking about getting rid of this door. Let me do that real quick. Boom. Get rid of all of this stuff. And I'm going to take and sneak that over there and putting this wall back out and putting a door in it. And I'll show you what that looks like. Let me pause this again. So something like this, the glass is exaggerated, and you got to have some type of supporting system. So you may have a couple of shelves that are just so big and leave the center open, and then a top one. And but just only thing I really have to show is where the plumbing goes, where the major appliances go, the built-ins. So you know, if this is a wine cooler, or probably not a wine cooler because you got one there, an under counter refrigerator, ice maker, I need to show where that goes, where the plumbing goes, where this goes. As far as the pantry, I think you could put a glass door on it, and then like a reed glass or some way of obscuring that if you want, or a standard door. I like the door over here better, but just a blank wall over there. Instead, I'd do something like that if you want the door there. Okay, let's see what else we have on our list. Let me pause this again. Totally agree with you as far as the man door on these. I just didn't have a good model that didn't have these giant panels in it that just look so ugly. So the other one is a better model, and it's actually the model that I have for these windows, which is really not windows, those are doors. So, you're just trying to make do with what you've got within the program. I can construct these, but it takes forever to do it. But yes, on the spec sheet and on the 2D drawings, I'll draw this in such a way that we know that that's the man door, and that these are bifolds that stack up against one side. I don't have a model that doesn't have these horribly big rails. Look so bad. So all of those doors that are the bifold type doors would have a man door on it. I don't see anything in here that would open in the middle. This is a slider, obviously. I don't think they make a man door for pocket doors. I'm pretty sure they don't. It might now, I don't know, but these are all sliding into a pocket in here. And these are the bifold. We just have to specify. Well, this doesn't have to be a bifold. If you don't want a bifold, if you want to just slider, these could all slide to one side and just stack over here. That might not be a bad scenario for this. Otherwise, this is going to be probably your man door. That's coming off of the bar here. And it's the traffic area again that dictates. This is your traffic area, so that should be the man door going out, if that's a man door. Or these all slide over and stack against that. Saves a little money doing that. Those sometimes are a little more reliable doors depending on the size of them. The master good, we'll leave the master. Yeah, as far as construction documents, I just need to know where openings are going. If we're going to change them, if that's a linear opening, a horizontal opening, I need to know that. If this works, I need to know that. If these are going away, I need to know that. Openings are structural things that we have to figure out a way of overcoming. And then as far as the rest of it, I need to know where plumbing goes. So the bar sink where it goes, and then appliances where appliances go. I need also, if you have a spec for the fireplace, California is so weird about that stuff. They want to know now what you're putting in there. You need to have the make, model, and who created it, and when and where. And so I need that stuff too. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I think this is really looking good. I think we're getting really close. Uh, Comments about the skylights in this area? Get back to me on that also. Oh, one last thing, the wood siding. I know what you're talking about. That stuff is bulletproof, but you cannot paint it to make it look like wood. And if you do, it becomes a maintenance item. And you're going to have somebody touch it up all the time to keep it looking like wood. What your previous architect spec'd out is a very good product for this stuff. I've spec'd it on a couple of products, on a couple of projects that I haven't had a chance to build yet. I'm looking forward to that because this appears to be, everyone I've talked to and what I've seen, there's a few places in Encinitas that have used it. It's bulletproof once it's on. It's a little expensive, but once it's on there, there's no maintenance to the thing. It's actually fire rated, which we have to have out in the county these days. All of this has to be all fire rated stuff. And it looks sweet when it's in. There's no painting it. There's no maintenance to it. Once you put it up, it's a done deal. Here, let me see if I can figure out real quick how much square footage of that we have. Hang on, one more pause here. Okay, I am showing, this is why this is coming up so much, I am showing this same siding in all the soffits, which I think is really cool in what I'm doing on a couple other projects. But that starts adding up pretty quick. So with all of this, underneath here, all the eyebrows, underneath here, there would be some underneath there, underneath all of the patio area, underneath here, and showing this also. It won't break this out unless I get rid of it. About 6,000 feet, 6,000 square feet of it. That's a lot. This is a big chunk that would come out of there. I imagine there's a couple thousand feet right there. I would argue for it, even though I've been the one crying about the budget. You're not going to get the same look with that cement-based siding. That stuff's bulletproof. It's not cheap either, though. And then if you're going to try to paint it like wood, you're going to regret it. If you're going to go with just siding, that type of siding, I'd just go a solid color on it and be done with it. And I could show you what that looks like if you want on these areas. Okay, I've rattled on long enough for a quick reply. Let me know what you think.